Hello guys, welcome to Sree Trading Buddies daily forecast. Let's start by looking into ES on the daily level. We looked into it on Friday. This was the candle on Friday, all-time highs and settled. On Monday, it was an inside bar. Tuesday, it did try to take this, but it could not, and it settled down. So it closed a little lower, but lower to the body. It didn't really get to the wick. On Wednesday, the market did try to go up, but it couldn't really breach the wick in here. And Thursday, that is today, of course, the ASH session for Friday has started, but today the market was just, it went down, it went back up, and it settled somewhere in the middle. So today was definitely a roller coaster. There were periods where it was absolutely fine, tradable, but there were also some periods where it was range bound. So it's a crazy price action. So I uh, I warn that if people are not really trading at the right time, I think time is of the essence there. You shouldn't really indulge in the markets at a bad timing because that's going to blow your account. So that's on the daily. Let's look into the 4 hours because 4 hours would tell you a different story. On the 4 hours, you could see that the market actually has been in this range completely. So this, if you could draw a box, then you know that it's a range, right? So on the 4 hours, you can see that the market actually has been ranging around in this area. Liquidity taken multiple times here, liquidity taken multiple times here. It's absolutely perfect box, I would say. It's a range bound activity on 4 hours, but that's futures. And so you need to look for the right times to trade and ensure you get the maximum out of it, especially on the ES and Nasdaq. Now, this was um, Thursday at 10 o'clock, and this is the afternoon session after 2 to 6, and then since 6 o'clock, um, we've seen a little bit of bullish momentum here, and given the things that are happening geopolitically, market is definitely not going bearish here, at least for the time being. When can we say it's bearish? Yesterday we did discuss this. It needs to get down to these levels and then start trending lower, and then we can look into it, and then at least momentarily or intermediate term trading, then we could say, okay, fine, let's start looking into the sell side kind of things, right? So that's about ES. I'm not really getting to the lower time frames there because the lower you go, you can clearly see this kind of a range bound activity. Yes, people who love ranges obviously are making merry here, but you have to be careful because it's a account blower, right? So just be careful of how and when you trade. So are there any areas below of interest? Yes, of course, there are a lot of areas there below of interest because it really trended up. So which means there will be some kind of a correction to ensure that it closes off these inefficiencies down below or the period area is there. So um, it's uh, it's coming, but when it's going to come, we do not know. So that's again, we are only forecasting. We are not predicting the markets there because prediction is dangerous. So what is being presented to us, we should only trade whatever that is being present to us, but we should not predict. So that's on the ES. Now let's look into Nasdaq on the daily. On the daily, if you see here, this is again Wednesday. So let's start here with Friday, then the Monday, which is an inside bar similar to the ES. Then market tried to rally back up, but it couldn't. Then Wednesday, the market did go push up higher, and on Thursday, it's exactly the same candle up and down below, but the liquidity is taken here, and then market tried to push back up. Of course, it didn't close above. And on Friday, yes, you could see a little bit there. The market after it started off the Asia session is absolutely bullish. Let's get to the 4 hours. And on the 4 hours, there's one distinction that I told yesterday, but I really wanted to bring this to everybody's attention here is Nasdaq pumped to all-time highs there, and it breached these levels and then went back up, but ES did not. So I primarily take ES as a cue. So if ES didn't break it, then of course, even if Nasdaq breaks it, then it'll be pretty momentary, right? So unless ES follows through now, I don't think these all-time highs would be sustainable. And again, the same thing that we discussed on ES, there are a lot of PD areas here, inefficiencies here, gaps here, whatever you want to call. And yes, they will come in at some point of time, but I'm not really sure about the timing because I don't time the markets, right? So we are not predicting anything in here. Just any price action that is present to us, let's act on it and then do whatever that is needed. So that's about it. You can clearly see range bound activity and breakout back again into the ranges here. Absolute textbook textbook trading here, whether you call support resistance or fair value gaps, PD areas, whatever you want to call. So it definitely did that, and again, it's forming some kind of a range bound activity in here too. So there's one range there, there is one more range here. So market has been pretty interesting, I would say. Maybe that's the word that you should use. So let's wait for the market now. It's trending back to all-time highs again. Liquidity was taken here on the 1 hour, as you can see. Um, Thursday at 11 o'clock, you could see the market actually took liquidity and then boom back down, and it exactly came to this level. And then this level, you could see that on the 4 hours there were a lot of inefficiencies there. So it market actually tapped absolutely bang into the inefficiency levels and sell sides and crawl back up. So this is pretty interesting. I would so this is a balanced price range now, and I would keep an eye on this level. Maybe this is no more needed. This is the level that you would be looking into because after the market opened up, it was just straight up. But this gap, it could fill sometime soon. Is it at 12 o'clock midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning? Pre-market London Open, pre-market New York Open, or whenever. But there is an opportunity there, and so that level for sure will be targeted by a lot of folks. So, and this level is also in a pretty interesting place there. So if the market has to come down to this level, you can see that it's sitting flush above this 50% of the range. And sometimes the easiest way to look into this would be take the 50% of this wick and adjust your tool to go to 50% of that, and then bang, that's the 50% there on the range. So uh, whether you would want to curve fit that or not, I don't really care there, but it's in a pretty good spot. So there could be um, a lot of trades that could come into play. Now I will mark this down, and I would say this is going down or something like that. So just to give me a little bit of picture there to say, yes, maybe there are shots in play here. It has to either take it or respect this, reject whatever it wants to do. So that's only 1 hours on NQ. I like this kind of price action there. If it want to flush down, obviously this level would be the key here. If not, then we'll see how it breaches this level, take liquidity, and then how it reacts to this level. So this is the buy side that you currently have. ESL, and of course the sell side is pretty obvious, so I don't really need to draw a sell side there. Now let's get to GC. So on GC, let's go back to the daily. Okay, as you see, as I'm zooming, you can clearly see that. Let's draw the sell side and buy side, because such an important areas to focus on, because half of the time, once you identify your buy side and sell side, I think that's a half of your play really. And once you do that, then the next thing is to time the market and then just take the call. Yeah. So here we go. Is that something crazy? Yeah. Cool. Oh, this is all that I've been trading on gold in on the 5 minutes here in the afternoon. So I think after this liquidity was taken, I did try to go until in here. So that was a good trade there. But again, after which you can see nothing is happening. Absolute range bound. So you need to wait for the market there. But anyway, let's get to the daily here. This is the ultimate buy side and sell side, and of course the sell side liquidity has been taken here, so that's a good one. And you can clearly see on the daily there is potential exactly in this area, and this is where you can see that this block here would make sense, something to take note of, because and that aligns with your 62 and 71 and 79, and this I think is already taken, so that's a good one actually. So it's a very subtle move, and whoever's taken that, that's great. But that's on the daily. Right now, how are we doing actually on the daily? So if you look into that, we see that this was Friday. Monday, it took liquidity down, but then went back up. Tuesday, it did take liquidity and then showed its colors to say that I'm trying to go down. Then on Wednesday, it was absolute inside bar. And Thursday, it did take liquidity, and that's pretty subtle, really. And so today, we need to wait and watch for the market to. So I think this would give you a little better picture there, because we've been looking on the 1 hour, but then this would tell you on the daily level that this was Friday, obviously. So the market here, the liquidity was taken completely. Let me draw this. Right, here we go. So liquidity was taken here, and then came back down. Then one more time, liquidity is taken. Then it's back onto this area again. It showed the trend that it's trying to go down and inside bar. Then today, that is Thursday, market actually tried to crawl back up, but again you can see wick in here, and then it tried to settle down somewhere in the middle. But liquidity wise, of course, it's taken one more time, so we would anticipate that the market would settle somewhere on the highs for Friday, and set up for the weekend, because there are some inefficiencies obviously above that you can see, and hopefully those would be covered. If not, then if you're really looking at the sell side, sell side, sell side, inefficiency levels, sell side, sell side. So downward targets, of course, we do have. On the upside, of course, this particular gap and inefficiency is taken, and the next level would be in here. So again, I told you many a time that I'm never short on gold because it's a thing that I learned maybe the hard way. So I'm never short on gold. But if the opportunity presents itself, of course, it should be pretty obvious and all the timelines should be aligned. So that doesn't happen quite often, but if it does happen, I'm sure I'll be taking a trade there. So that's on GC. Let me switch this back to NQ and CL with a lot of drama happening there. CL, whew. So oil rises as Strait of Hormuz remains closed. So that's the talk, and that's why the market is up 1.29%. So that's CL there on the daily. So these were the highs. Came close on 7th of April, but again tanked down, took liquidity. Again, this is not conventional wisdom. There's a lot happening on the daily level in the markets, a lot of geopolitical nonsense going on. So, uh, but anyway, liquidity is taken, so and it started to creep up, and this is the area on the daily level where I think it's being targeted first. After which, again, we do have some levels upside, but for CL, I don't think I'm in a position to really trade CL unless it's been so obvious. So I'll stay away because this is more of an indicator for me to start trading the others, that is NQ, ES, and gold. So that's about it. And spot, of course, when people who are doing their CFDs, then spot definitely is the key there. This was crazy. This is the one that we saw last night, right? So or oh, that's not last night. This is last night, and this was in the afternoon today. So, whew, that was another thing too. It was crazy, crazy, crazy one. Yeah. So for now, we'll need to see whether the market wants to rebalance there. But for now, I'm not really looking anything into it because the market has not been trending much. So I'll wait for the um, midnight, 2 o'clock open, and then we'll take a call because it's already 9 o'clock. And yes, there will be Aussie Open, but there'll be a little bit of a volatility there for the next half an hour, I think so. But or it's almost done. So that's all. Take care and see you again tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow I do have some time to trade and close the week off in a good fashion. So cheers.